I gotta find a way to cut this because this is too wide for my window. Not too bad. Personally, I think a window looks better when it's full instead of spreading them out. I think I'm gonna give this like a week or two to see what survives and what doesn't with my light, you know? But it needs to be higher. Like that is not how it should look. It looks stupid. It looks dumb. I gotta fix that. It needs more, I think. I need more ivy. Okay, the things I've learned from gardening so far, we're doing this process together, right? Like I realized I need des plantes retombantes. I think that's what they're called. The ones that like fall and like spread out, the ivy. And then you also need des plantes grimpantes, which I think they tend to be the same plants, like it's ivy again. Then you need your plants that just fill in the space. So that's what I'm hoping this will be. They say that when you garden, you should get plants in threes just because it looks better to the eye to have, well, I guess again, it depends what kind of garden you're looking for. If you want a cottage garden, then yeah, it's kind of like lush and romantic and overflowing. And if you like that manicured look, then symmetry would probably work well, so you probably would want to. I just dropped this out my window. Thought it was gonna land on somebody's head. Let's just be glad it wasn't the planter. Did I tell you what was happening? I bought all this stuff, but my balcony doesn't have a railing. It's just a, like, I don't know what to do. You know, like some balconies have like a protective ledge. Mine's just a railing. And so I bought things like this, but they just like hang like this, you know, because there's nothing like set it against. So store employee recommended I put these on the ramparde, on the bar. She said to have like deux, voire trois, and then you tie this to lean up against la ramparde. I don't know if it's gonna work. I just don't really get it. One, two, three, four. How do I have 3 different kinds of railing? They're all different sizes. Okay, what do I need to do? 4 planters, 4 terracotta pots. Okay, so ideally I would put plants on my windowsill in a planter, but the thing is that the windowsill is only about this wide and the rail goes right here. So I need the plant to grow both ways. Specifically this way and over the railing so that the thing doesn't fall onto people. You see what I mean?
You could go for trailing or cascading plants that naturally grow outward or downward instead of straight.
Oh, you mean like ivy?
Exactly, like ivy. Pothos and certain types of philodendrons.
No, because see, I'm going for English cottage garden look, not Brazil. Okay. A man's got to get more ivy. Another day, another plant. Lavande, not to be trusted. don't want the world to see me. Oh, there's Ivy. Okay. Monsieur, il y a plus de lierre? C'est le sol?
Ouais, c'est le seul qui me reste.
Ou est-ce qu'il est en train de mourir?
Non,
là?
non, il est bien.
Là, c'est bien?
Non, non, c'est bien,
Hop,
monsieur.
parce que
Après,
j'ai-
ça grandit.
None of these.
Tout dépend du problème que vous avez.
Tous les problèmes.
C'est-à-dire, vous avez quoi dans votre plante?
Don't look at my rosemary. She does not want to be here. It's dying. And what's that? Like, is it thirsty or is it overwatered?
Some plants need water daily, watering about once or twice a week. They might be getting overwatered. If the top inch is dry, it's time to water.
See, but you said.
Le rituel.
Le rituel, ouais, voilà. Okay, so it's not just my flowers. Maybe this is just what plants do. I want them to be perky at all times, though. Why is it doing that? See, I could tell I'm gonna get along with this plant. This one, I need a few more of these.
Votre attention s'il vous plaît, Eric, vous êtes attendu en ligne de caisse, merci.
They don't have the plant I want here. They don't have enough plants in this store. Plante pour toute République. Okay. Ooh. I'm gonna try to bike home with this. No. As I was riding my bike around Paris, I had a brilliant idea to look at people's apartments who have the same exposition as le mien to see which plants are surviving. How are they doing that? I then was texting my friend Cash, who was like, oh, I'm on my lunch break, do you wanna go get lunch? And he took me to this place that I've never been before. It was the Rose Garden.
Bless you. Your allergies are fucking you up.
Today. It's all these damn plants.
And as you can see, I'm surrounded by plants that really look as if they were on their way out.
Are you at my house?
Because you want each plant to kind of fight for its life to deserve that space that it's taking up.
They're already fighting for their life.
Un jeune couple inaugure une terrasse qu'il voudrait voir devenir un écrin de verdure. C'est
Same.
chez Isabelle et chez Romain, et c'est parti.
Alright, hear me out. Ivy Dominique. Enzo and Ivy. Today's your big day. Today's your big day to be displayed. Enzo and Ivy. think my idea for this window is to use that long ivy trail and just loop it around the balcony, just because it'll be a little different, you know what I mean? My neighbor's like, who is he talking to? He's probably like, why was he fucking filming my apartment? That's probably what he was doing. Hi, I've lived here for 3 years. We've still never acknowledged each other. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this and then a plant there. Y'all, I had to step back from the window because I watched this man stop, pull out his phone, and take a photo of my window. And it was that window. Okay. Okay, so you liked that window. Yeah, it's pretty, huh? Who is a garden for? Who is a garden for? Damon, is the garden for everyone on the street or is it for you? Actually, the good thing is I'm already noticing right now that this garden alone, even though it's still pretty small, it blocks the people who sit at that restaurant, you know? So it's for my privacy. But there's a boulangerie right there that everyone always sits at. And like there's an audience today. Like go home. Tourists go home. No, putain, c'est magnifique. C'est vraiment magnifique, non? Like wow. I mean wow. Damn. Like not you again. Okay. God damn it, I have to cut this again. I bought these yesterday. Ah! Ow! Okay. Yes! Voila. Tape. So where would it be? Oh my god! Yes! Wait, that's not good. This is not a good idea. No, I can't do that, right? How can you grow if you're stuck in the same place? How can you grow? But at least it looks pretty. Very happy with this window. Okay, moving on. Ah! Sorry. Okay, so yesterday at Plantes pour tous, I saw the man water his plants like this. You take the full plant. C'est comme ça que vous arrosez toutes les plantes? And then you just dip it in water. C'est exactement ça. Okay, cool. Merci beaucoup. That's lukewarm water. You're not just supposed to fill this up with soil. You're supposed to put clay balls at the bottom or something at the bottom so that it helps it drain. I don't know. Just trying to follow instructions. Transfer it to this new pot. Oh, I should probably break up the roots a little bit. The only reason I'm watering this one is because I just bought this yesterday and they say when you repot it, you're supposed to water down the soil so it helps the roots. Again, I'm only, what, 2 weeks in? I'm 2 weeks in. Everything's still doing okay. Et voilà. Now I'll put on the sill. I need more clay. All right, get in the car. We gotta go get more clay balls. Every time I get on this bike, I feel 14. But they have Carex. I need something like wavy in the wind, I need a wavy plant. This was €3. I thought this was very appropriately priced. I mean, it's grass after all. But I'm like, why am I looking for plants that do this when I could just get these and like make a little, you know? This is what I want. You see that? Like I want it in a planter right there. And I want to hear that. Should I buy this? Should I buy this? Should I buy this? This looks good to me. I don't think I like this. Oh my god, wait. Whoa, we didn't even think about that. I'm gonna take the zip tie. Perfect, and now, look at this. Now there's like a border for these plants to be safe, so they don't fall off. Okay, then we're gonna loop all these vines. You know what I mean? Okay, I like where we're going. It's looking good so far. Again, that was a total mistake. I'm just guessing as I do this, but it seems to be working out. It's a few hours later and I am not happy. I discovered brown spots on 2 of my ivies. I thought I was doing everything right. Like, let the plant adjust. Now, legend has it that you're not supposed to pot your plants immediately. You need to give them time to adjust to your house. Let the plant adjust, and then only water it once a week and put it in a morning sun, but not afternoon. Like, I'm doing it all correctly. Rosemary, dry. I thought you were from the Mediterranean. Lavender, I can't get the watering down. I'm so confused. It's been sunny. Like, I'm trying not to water them too much, but it's been sunny. Maybe it was the rice water. So this is the water after rinsing my rice. I heard somewhere that you're supposed to keep this and you can water your plants with this because it has natural nutrients. This water has nutrients in it. Testing too many variables at once. Okay, tomorrow I will actually water them correctly and then I'm not touching them for 5 days. I'm not gonna look at them for 5 days. I don't even want to interact with them for 5 days. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah. So the plants look good from afar. So I am gonna worry about that tomorrow. Cause it's a holiday in France and some of us got some drinking to do. It's been too sober over here, right? Yes, that's what I thought. I got home at 7 a.m. You know what? The first thing I thought of as I woke up, the ivy. It was my brain wanted to sleep, but I could only think about how I didn't water my ivy this morning. And I'm gonna do that right now before my friend Rosa gets here. Jesus, what was that? Oh my god, okay. Like, take shelter maybe? You know what, it was a sign, this is a sign. The restaurant Kiomba is not open today, which means I can water my plants right now. The thing is, you have to do this in the morning when you live in a city because, you know, there's like restaurants downstairs that can't water on people. Okay, I'm actually gonna use this moisture meter. So apparently my rosemary should be a 3 or 4 after watering it. So it shouldn't be really wet ever. It should just be moist. Whereas ivy and all the other plants can get to about an 8. And it's at a 5. Voila. I just kind of feel like it's all dying. But why am I acting like this wasn't part of the plan? You have to kill some plants to learn, you know? Oh my god. You're telling me the water worked? Yo, they look so healthy now. Okay, plant checking. This one's doing really well. This wiry plant doing well. Cilantro doing well, basil doing well, ivy doing well. Kitchen window check in, ivy, beautiful. Spring onion, like what's... Yeah, oh my god, it feels like a spring onion. Also, my friend Dominique, when I was in New York, we bought green onions and then she cut off the end and just put it in water. Like this is just water in here. And then all you do is just replace it with more water each day. And then once they have roots, you can put them in soil, which is what I did. Happy.
Look at that basil!
Look at it, look at the basil!
You need to make like a caprese.
And I love how you guys say basil.
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 What do you say, basil?
We say
So
basil as
basil.
fuck. Yes. It's all working. Okay, do you prune? Oh, prune the plants. Like, help me out here. I've never done this.
It's called deadheading.
Well, that's for flowers, but then pruning is plants.
Not unless they're brown, no.
Okay, wait. So this is basil here. Now hold on. So, like, I think there's a specific part that you're supposed to cut. Like.
Now, yeah, that I'm not sure of.
Where are my gardening scissors?
We followed this one up, and then we cut right there. And so I
got it. I'm pruning. This is so much fun. I'm having such a good time. Guess what today is? Okay, so I figured that I would let you guys know in a very Sparknotes version everything that I've learned and seems to be working for these plants. So number one, these are outdoor plants. These are not indoor plants. Indoor plants are different. Indoor plants I was shook when I learned this. Indoor plants in North America and Europe are the outdoor plants in humid places. Yeah, take a minute and sit with that. Like when you go to Brazil, they will have pothos growing outdoors. Indoor plants here are outdoor plants elsewhere, which means that here, indoors, we need to control the humidity a little bit more. Anyways, this doesn't concern this because these are outdoor plants. I'm gonna do this for like 20 minutes. Again, I don't even know if I'm convinced with this method. It just seems to be a little bit easier. Apparently the water like gets soaked up from the bottom. Oh, apparently you're not supposed to water the leaves themselves. I didn't know that. I will say, like, okay, while there is some browning, there's also new growth. So maybe this is just the natural life cycle. Like, you know, maybe that's just how it goes. In fact, I had a moment yesterday. So it's been hot and sunny here in Paris for a week. And then all of a sudden, there was like a torrential downpour of hail. So I came back home and I was talking to Rosa. Here I am trying to control the garden. Like, meaning like, I'm trying to get the water right, I'm trying to get the sun right, when really, I should let all of it go because there was just a torrential downpour that I will never be able to control.
Yeah.
What a metaphor for life, Rosa. What a metaphor for life.
But that's a metaphor for life. Like, you can do what you do, but you always have to create room. Like, what does it me and my mom say? We say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. That. Oh my god!
You
oh my god!
I know! It's like snow.
There's like piles of slushies on the bloody floor.
Is a garden ever in your control? No. I actually needed that to happen because I think I was getting a little too attached. I mean, it's not even done, first off. Like, sorry everybody on YouTube, this is not done. Like, I don't think I mentioned that. This is step 1. Step 2 is those images on Pinterest. I'm just doing what I can with the windowsill, you know? I want it to envelop the window. But you can't go faster than nature, so. Okay, where do we even start? Let's start with the fact that when you plant a plant outdoors, the thing that's making it grow is the roots, right? So when you confine it to a planter or a pot, obviously it doesn't have many places to go. Also, when you combine it with other plants, it's fighting for the space. There are some plants, apparently like mint, that once you plant it, it takes over everything, so beware of that. You also need to keep in mind which plants are like drier plants and which plants are moist, wet plants, because if you put them in the same planter, I mean, I guess technically you could water half of it. You know what, let me show you a mistake I've already made. So over here, there's ivy, rosemary, ivy. I shouldn't have done that because I'm realizing after a lot of ChatGPT that the rosemary is a plant that you don't need to water a lot. But the ivy, it needs more water than the rosemary, so you gotta keep in mind what's in the planter. So that rosemary that I planted in the planter with ivy, I should probably move that, right?
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Ivy likes more consistent moisture.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you should put the wet plants with the wet plants and the drier plants with the dry plants. Also, something else I had never considered, apparently even the material, down to the material of the pot, whether it's terracotta, whether it's tin, whether it's plastic, whether it's wood, it all affects how the water drains out of it, which is also important. Okay, so when you buy plants, here's what you don't do. You don't walk into the store and just buy a plant. You need to, step 1, look at where your sun direction is. Is it north, east, southwest? Here's another tricky part. If you start watching all these videos, just know this. If you're watching from the northern hemisphere, everyone's YouTube channel is gonna be like, you need a south-facing window. Maybe it's just like the global citizen in me. I clocked that so early. I was like, well, what if you're in the southern hemisphere? You still need a south-facing window? Potentially, I don't know. Maybe, I guess the earth does rotate on its axis, but in my thinking, maybe they're right. Maybe everybody needs a south-facing window. Do you get what I'm saying though? Like, if you're in the southern hemisphere, do you then need a north-facing window because that's the one that's gonna get the most light? Sun rises in the east. Everywhere in the world, okay? Like, I don't know who's watching this channel, but that's a fact, okay? Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. So keep this in mind, because if you're in a hot destination, you already know that the afternoon sun is the hottest. So you have to factor that in too. See, now they say, okay, the sun rises in the east. I mean, they don't say it, it literally happens. And it sets in the west. And so therefore a south-facing window gets the most amount of light. I guess I don't fully understand that, because why wouldn't the north-facing window get the most light if it's just going above you? It was my worst subject, just putting that out there. Science was always my worst subject. Me and science never really, I'll respect it, but I was always asking like a different question. Like the answers to scientific questions, sure, they do it for scientific people, but I guess they don't do it for me. Like dreams, we all went to sleep last night and not one of us right now are talking about it, but we were all living a different reality. A scientist will be like, yeah, that's just your brain like combing through the memories. Sure. But still, like, why was I feeling such deep emotion in my dreams when my eyes were asleep? Why was I able to see such things? Let's move on. So right, when you walk into that store, know which direction you're facing and know like how hot it gets. Some of these plants are vivace, which means that it literally depends on your climate, because they're vivace for Paris. Vivace meaning like they're gonna live year round. I wanted something that was low maintenance. I'm like, I want a beautiful window 365 days of the year. So ivy, did you know that? Did you know that you could get some ivy? But ivy might not grow in certain places. So again, walk into the store. Step 1, know your sun direction. Step 2, know your climate. Step 3, are you looking for things that are gonna last forever? When I say forever, it's probably like a few years on a windowsill. I guess that's what I learned. Are you looking for things like flowers, which only tend to be for a season, which means you gotta like redo it all every season? Even that could be nice because you could swap it out each season, so it's pretty. I've always liked green. You have plants that are vivaces, which are, I believe, plants that will be there for a few years. Then you have plants that are annuels, which I think means that they will pop up and die within the year. And you know what? I think the reason, here I go blaming it on the light. It's not my fault, obviously. The reason rosemary's not working, it's not working in my apartment, I think is because of the light. I think it needs more light than I can give it. You know, like you can only give so much to your plants. If you're watching from Australia, do you still need a south-facing window? That is the question of the century. Or do you need a north-facing window? Because that sucks for every Australian watching these YouTube videos and everyone on here is blabbing about how you need a south-facing window. Well, not if you're in Australia. I will stick up for you Australians, okay? I'm thinking of you guys. I live my life for Australia. Okay, what else is on here? Let's see. The idea was to multiply. Yes. So actually my friend Iwana came over yesterday and she said, can I get some rosemary? Because I make a mask for my hair. I'm so happy that I was able to give her that rosemary before it dies completely. I want people to come over here and be like, Damon, can I get some basil? Damon, can I get some basil?
Basil.
Basil.
What do you say, basil?
Damon, can I get some cilantro? Damon, can you propagate that plant so I could have one? I'm thinking about gifts. Like, I'm thinking, I don't want to give people things. Realistically, I'm not going to pay for an entire trip, you know? But I can give them a plant. You know, when you give a plant, you give life. Actually, that's a beautiful gift, like for somebody's birthday, to give them life. Literally life. This is such a life-giving gift. No, it is alive, 1. And 2, does it not emit oxygen? And does it not suck up our CO2? Fact check that. Science again. Science again. Okay, so plants need different kinds of water. If it rains, apparently you're supposed to wait a day. The moisture meter, I'm still a little confused because everyone and their mom has been saying water it when the top centimeter. I'm also like, I don't think we use centimeters in the States. We use inches. But don't we also know about centimeters, so I don't know. It's like I've been out of the States for so long, but there's still some things that I just prefer the American system. Fahrenheit, I'm sorry, it's better. I'm so sorry. Put dry plants with dry plants, like, you know, your rosemaries and thymes. If you want to hack, just see where the plant comes from. Like rosemary and thyme tend to, I think, come from the same region, which equals the same climate. Therefore, put those plants together. When it comes to designing, okay, so they say you should buy them in 3s, sure, or like odd numbers. Like I said earlier in the video, I guess it depends what kind of style you're going for. Because if you want a symmetrical jardin, then apparently, how would you do that with 3s? I guess you could 1, 2, 3. Now again, I'm not done. I'm just waiting to see what thrives in my windows before I buy more. But in an ideal windowsill world, I have plants that give you height, that give you waviness, and that tombe, that fall down. I think what makes a window look good is when it's full, like jam-packed. Say you have 3 plants and 3 windows. If you're asking me, it's not 1 plant per window. It's 3 plants in the corner of 1 window. That's what I would do. Also, instead of just grabbing every plant at the plant store, I mean, you do it at the beginning to see what works, but eventually I think you get the same style of plant, so it could be repeated every 3 to 5 plants. So you do these white flowers. You don't just put all the white flowers in the white flowers. You do white flower, a few like an ivy, a lavender, and then the other white flower, and the ivy, and then that green wiry plant, and then the white flowers. If you're doing this in a city apartment with just a rebord de fenêtre, then honestly, I would recommend those tuteurs, the support things that I kept buying. Those came in handy. That's the entire reason I can do this, actually. When you buy a plant and put it in a pot, you need to make sure that the pot has a drainage hole at the bottom, or else, I don't know, I feel like this is common sense, right? Like, the water just has nowhere to escape, therefore the plant's just sitting in water. That's not mimicking nature. You can't do that. You can't do that. This is different from, I guess, flowers, which you would put in a vase with water, and it's the water that makes the flowers last longer. It's not the same with plants. And anyways, would love to hear your thoughts on gardening. Any tips, please? We need them. Thank you for watching. Bisous. Ciao, ciao. I just came up my stairs and one of my neighbors is on, I don't know, she's like talking to somebody. She goes, attends, 2 minutes, j'ai quelqu'un à féliciter. And I was like, who? Then she goes, hey, bravo, félicitations, la lierre que vous avez là. Si tout le monde faisait ça, on aurait l'immeuble le plus beau de la rue. And I was like, thank you. I'm laughing because it's really like a sitcom. Hey, félicitations avec votre lierre, c'est vraiment belle. N'est-ce pas? Non mais vous croyez aussi? Ah ouais, non mais franchement, moi j'ai pensé la même chose. Impulse buy, I got flowers. I don't think I've ever bought flowers in my life, actually. So, I don't know, there's nothing to say. I don't know, I just never bought flowers. So that's that. No, I'm laughing at Friends. There's a Friends episode where like Joey bought flowers or something and everyone's making fun of him. And he goes, since when are flowers feminine? like. So reasons for my garden. It was about time I had the prettiest balcony on the block. Yeah. You know, when you walk around Paris, you'll notice some people really do it big with their windowsills. And I need to be one of those people. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. It's actually really rewarding too because I've already noticed so many people. Again today, somebody stopped and they took a photo of my windows. Okay, for these plants that aren't getting enough sunlight, we can use this mirror to reflect the light, but where is the light? Over there, which means it needs to bounce. You see that? We gotta bounce it. We need to bounce the light. Wait. Oh!
We were so close.
As always, every link in God's universe is in the description box below to my courses, my newsletter, travel advice column. I'm gonna be renting like a storefront here in Paris near Bastille to be giving, I think I'm gonna do French classes for English speakers and English classes for French speakers and maybe even more Global Citizen IRL. I just did that whole tour. If I'm still alive